just functional vet. What we have is a planer, and I had put this away for a while. It had started to rain, and I didn't get it completely cleaned up, so there's some junk in here. These peanuts that you see inside here, I had a bag of peanuts which I was roasting, and I didn't realize some of them had been carried off by some kind of a rodent and put inside this machine to be eaten later. So we have some debris in here. I'm going to be blowing all this out, getting all of this stuff out of there a little bit later. This chain drive is what drives the gears that run the rollers that pull the material through. One of these, somewhere in here, and I'm not sure exactly where, is going to be the cutter for the planing blade. Now what happened, as I say, this had been stored away for a while. And this is approximately 1 inch in length right here. This area was connected in the same position as this one right here, and it had rusted together. To get this out, this end, as you can see, has a flat on each end, and I took a wrench and I put it on there, and then I unscrewed this. There's a nut that goes in the bottom. There's a nut that goes in the bottom here. I'll show you that in just a moment. And I undid that, and then I was able to get this piece out. With emery cloth, I polished this up. It needs more polishing. This is actually etched into the metal, so I'm going to have to really clean that up good. And then I'm going to go back with a super light lubricant. I can't remember the material that you can put on something that absolutely stops rust. It's made for the marine environment, and I'd put a light coat of that on there. You don't want to put too much of anything because this makes a lot of dust, and that dust can get in and jam up. But the emery cloth, all I did was take it on here like so, and then turn it like this. And I've been using a paper towel covered with a penetrator lubricant to help clean this up. What I may end up doing is coming back and removing the rust out of this with a brush, since this won't reach in there, and then use a chemical rust remover, and then come back with a lubricant to try to prevent that from happening again. These rings right here that you see, I'm also cleaning those. The other side has been taken completely apart, cleaned, and put back together, and put a lubricant on it. I may also put a real thin layer of grease on there. Use the same grease that you'd use when you use a grease gun on a grease cert, and grease this up. Now the thread is in good shape. No problems here. Everything's working just fine. But thought you might be interested in this. On the other side, we have a belt. Tilt this up just a bit. We have a belt drive, and I believe that's the cutter, and then this is the motor that drives everything. And on the far side of that, I guess, is it's all covered. I can't tell, but anyway, it may take the drive directly off of this onto those chains you saw to roll these two right here. You can see them. These are the two rollers that roll the piece through. But that's how I'm fixing this, because this would not raise or lower. I thought that might help. Here are the nuts right here. You can see how they fit in. Here's one down at the bottom that I've taken off. This is the last one. I'm taking these out one at a time, cleaning them and putting them back in and tightening them back up with the nut. I was using a drill with some emery cloth to clean out this one that I couldn't get my finger into to work on. I'm going to call that a wrap. Dysfunctional vat out.